Yet another random internet outage. And then just a few seconds later, it's back on and working normally again. Now onto the very last page. Saturday, so that means that it's Claymore's time in the basement. Looks about right. So I finally added the dimensions for the last one on the list on the second go through of the list. Because the first time I was just adding the ones that I could easily add. Now this time I went in depth and added just about all of the ones that I could realistically add, excluding the Cars movie ones, with that stuff. So there's one pending approval. So if we calculate that in, let's see how many are remaining. Items missing packing dimensions. And so minifigures is down to 573 for that, so that's pretty good. Atlantis, oh yeah, that's that one. So yeah, now I am going to just quickly double check once if there's any that were just released that I can add, but I don't think so. Well, these ones here I'm not going to work on until there's an inventory, just to give the original submitter a chance in case they wanted to. And this one here, there's no inventory yet, so I don't know for sure if that's a new hairpiece, because I was looking at the inventory comparison tool and it's a new part number, I think. And I don't even know if I have the old version of the hair, because I'm almost certain there's that old hairpiece that looks very similar to that. But yeah, then besides that, there's not anything else I can work on for that. So then now, let's see, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, now what I'm going to do is go through the list. Let's just refresh it. It should still be 12 pages. Yeah, still 12 pages. But then I'm going to go through the list from page 1 once more. And then I'm just going to make absolutely sure that I have nothing missing from the different parts. Like, for example, this guy's cape, this guy's headgear, this minifigure, and stuff like that. And then go more in depth on the Duplo and stuff like that, just to add some of the more generic ones. Because, for example, let's see, was it page 5 or 6 that Duplo started? Page 5. So, for example, let's just see if I can find one here real quick that I was thinking of earlier. Yeah, like this one here. This one, this one, this one, that one maybe, and like a whole bunch of these other ones. As long as you get one, you have the dimensions for all of them. So then I can just add like one of those ones to the list and stuff like that, and then I'll just go through and try to refine the wanted list a bit more. But then let's just check real quick the wanted list. Parts for dimensions. It's up to 223 items on this list that are needed to finish with the stuff. So then for the most part, it's just more generic parts, and some of them for things like the Angry Birds just added the complete figure because it's basically the same thing. Not sure why this is on here. I'll have to double check that and probably remove it because I already finished adding those dimensions, so I'm not quite sure why that's on there. But yeah, then I'll give it one more go through, and then after that, I'm finally done with the dimensions again. So I finally finished going through the list, and so I basically made sure I had absolutely everything from the Quadro figure that goes for like $700, even though I know that I'm probably never going to be buying that, and then to the Duplo, Scala, Belleville. I just made sure that everything was on the wanted list, just at least one copy of each, just so if I am ever in a store, I can quickly add that. So that brought it up to 452 items. But then I have a new tab up here, which I have open, where basically whenever a change request for a minifigure goes through, I can look at it because, one second, I was just seeing it the other day. Like, for example, right here, the minifigure for this one, the dimensions are added. So if I had this minifigure or parts for it on the list, then I can remove those parts because they've been added. And then Axaday was adding some of the dimensions for these ones, so I removed the parts from the wanted list for these minifigures when I saw that. So then I can just continuously update the list. So then that wanted list will be getting lower whenever someone else or myself adds the dimensions. So that's good now. But yeah, it's 10 p.m. I'm going to start syncing up the stores. I don't think I'm going to be listing too much tonight. I might try to just build these minifigures here because I still have the parts out. But then all of these parts are going to go into this container over here, and they're just going to stay here. I'm not going to put them with my other assorted parts by the bubble wrap over there because whenever I get a part in the mail for like the Mario feet or something like that, then I'm going to need these parts again. And then this stuff here has the high density of it is parts that I need 4 dimensions. Like you've got all of your brackets, your 1x2 plates, your 1x1 plates, your tiles, all that type of stuff you generally need for minifigure dimensions is in here. So then it's already mostly as needed. And I mean, I don't really use the assorted stuff for anything. So then I'll just put it in here to keep it on the side so I can have access to my table back. So then I'll work on that, work on these, and then start thinking up the stores. Yogurt time. I don't remember how much I talked about the IOSS stuff from last week when I was printing out this label, but I figured it out now, and so now I can get the IOSS tax identifier thing created with the new shipping company, because Sterling Express has a more complicated way of doing it. So then I can create that now, and then I can print out the label for this one here. So then there's that, and then after that, since I'm not done with dimensions, the table's cleared. Once this is done, then that's done. Then after that, I can get to listing. So that means that I can finally get through some backlog over here and get some stuff listed finally for the first time in a couple weeks. But then one thing I did find out that was slightly different than I was thinking is that Stallion Express, the international shipments tax isn't charged on top of it, only Canadian shipments. So then I don't actually, for the example I was using the other day of 570 plus tax and stuff like that, and then the new total, and then I used that for the example. That's not quite correct because I was looking more at examples and it was only tax on Canadian shipments, but still the rates are very similar. But I will take a closer look at it again if needed. Yeah, then that's all sorted out now. And then the first time I was shipping with them from last week, it's already being delivered to this date, so that's pretty good. But then I'll have to compare it. If it's only a slight difference, I'll stay with Chit Chats just because it's a much better interface and so much easier to create the labels and everything like that. But then if it is significantly cheaper with Stallion Express, then I'll go back to them. So yeah, then if anyone is curious, the highest lot count for the things from the wanted list for the parts 4 dimensions, the store that has the absolute most of the 452 items on the list is only 43. So yeah, that's just how few parts in general that you can get from them. Although it is a Canadian store, Canada First Bricks. Let's actually take a look. 1 second, just get this up. Deselect parts 4 dimensions. Okay, so then let's see, starting by price. So the most expensive thing is that. Then they've got some of that stuff. That's pretty cheap for a Night of Run helmet. Yeah, only 12 bucks, not bad. Someone has 25 of them for 8 bucks. Is it a misprint? No, it's not. That's interesting. But then they've got some of the Duplo stuff, which is good. But I mean, I won't be buying this right now because I'm just saving money for the next little while. But yeah, then they've got lots of different parts for dimensions, which could get lots of dimensions done, but I am leaving it for now, just to get other stuff sorted out first and things like that. But then at least I do know that the Canadian option is one of the largest options, but then a lot of it's just repeats of the same thing. I don't think I need these things anymore. Let me check minifigure. Yeah, I already added the dimensions for that guy, so then I can remove that from the list. But yeah, then I'll just sometime in the future be able to get a few of those parts again. So the first store up for listing is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So there is a couple of assembled minifigures over here, but then the rest of it's just parts. I was able to rebuild one for eBay, so that's relisted now. So then I got these parts here, and let's see, the most expensive one is this guy here. I've never watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I don't really know their names, other than from Bricklink, so I can't really say who they are off of their headband color. And then the next one is this torso, surprisingly. This one here is unsurprising. I've already sold that one a couple times, so that's nice. And so then let's see here. 1 second, where is it? Okay, oh yeah, it's right here above it. This one here, it's worth more parted out than assembled, so that one I'll be parting out here. So then I'll consolidate. Well, I'll just leave it out for now, but then I'll consolidate because I haven't updated any of the quantities yet. So then that's done, and so yeah, the least valuable is the generic foot soldier head, and yeah, looks pretty good. So with the quantity of 1, it's for 102.26, but I have to go through with it, go through all of it here, and there's multiple quantities of a lot of the different things. So I'll work on this stuff now and get it uploaded. just finished with all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, and so then there's the eBay one for 15, so that plus the 136 is from that drawer, so that's now uploaded, and on to the next. So it's time to start on the next container, and I think I should probably tackle the Star Wars one because this here is pretty good value and stuff like that. So there's lots of really good things in here, like there's a Hondo, I think that's what his name is. Here, I couldn't list him on eBay because I'm thinking one side of the torso was cracked or it had some bite marks or something like that. But then there's that, and yeah, so then let's just see what we have. We've got Batman, we've got Minecraft mobs, we've got Snakes, Lloyd, Pirates of the Caribbean, neckwear, crescent blades, old castle, bionicle, accessories, or not accessories, other tools, black torsos, aviator helmets, incomplete legs, Minecraft Steve mixed in here for some reason. He's supposed to be over here. And so castle, other, jewels, lances, power miners, alien defense unit, orange torsos, superheroes, other, Steve, Indians and Western, pirates, white torsos, stone army, Woo, Jay, Kai, clones, and legs, other color. So then that's what I've got left over there. So then we've got the Star Wars here. And let's check the drawer. So I've got a bit more in the drawer again since last time. So I'll dump that into here and then put that back there. Yeah, the other drawers can stay. So yeah, then I guess I can get to work on this drawer. I'll just put this guy away before I forget. And he goes over here somewhere. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle right here. So that guy's away, so then I can get to work on the other parts now. So just finished uploading the Star Wars on Brickstore into one file. And there's some nice minifigures and parts in here. So we've got like the Hondo, Rex helmet, Rex head, Sabine. I don't even remember that guy's name. Let's see, what is it? Rhoda? Yeah, Rhoda. Then just some other really decent parts and stuff like that. So then that's all uploaded. So it's just this stuff here. And so that at 6 months sales average with a quantity of one is $790. But there's multiple quantity of some of them like this, these things, some of the heads and torsos and legs and stuff like that. So then that will hopefully go up a bit more. And then a lot of them are quite rare parts. So let's just take this one, for example. Watch there actually be others for sale. Let's actually check this one then, because this one I'm more confident there won't be. And then paste and search. So then we've got this guy's head. I bought it for $30 for dimensions, as you can see there. Let's check in Canada. None others available in Canada, and it sells between $20 to $30. There's a few available below $30 and about $30. I'll probably list it for about that $30 range as well. But yeah, overall pretty good. So I'll just try and adjust prices as I need to when listing everything, but overall pretty good stuff. This bag of damaged parts is full again, so that means it's time for another auction. So let's just quickly see how much it weighs. I'll move that, get the scale turned on, and then grab this, wait for the scale to finish, and then set it on. So it's 1,600 grams. Let's see, that's 3.5 pounds or 56 ounces or 1.6 kilos. So yeah, that's good. So then I'll get this listed as an auction. I didn't list it last week just because I could get a little bit more into the bag, so I waited just a bit longer. But then now the bag is full. I'm still working on the Star Wars stuff, but then I'll just get this listed because otherwise I will forget and I'll be putting it off for probably a couple more weeks at least until I remember. But yeah, then the Star Wars stuff here, currently just about done the minifigures. There's 3 left. I didn't do them all in order because I forgot for some reason. But then there's that stuff. So yeah, then I'll work on this and then hopefully we'll be able to still finish this tonight. And then I have a larger order to pull. I think it's like 130 lots or something like that. So then I'll have to pull that. It'll take a bit of time. So then my goal for the rest of the day is to list this, and then pull the orders. So if anyone's listed, anyone's interested, the auction is now listed. It'll start today at, well, not today, but today, Monday at 9 p.m. So yeah, by the time the vlog's up, it's up. So anyone's interested, I think the last one sold for 140, but then the one before that sold for like 40 bucks or something like that. So yeah, you might be able to get it cheap if you don't mind damaged parts. But yeah, the auction is up now. Just finished with creating the final thing, like checking everything for damage and getting it uploaded. So then that's just all of this stuff here, and I'll have to update that. But besides that, and okay, I can consolidate that one, but besides that stuff, it looks to be all good to go. So all in all, it ended up being $868 from that drawer. Well, I filled up the drawer like twice or so a little bit more than that, less than that per drawer, but overall pretty good. So I'll put the one thing consolidated and update the remarks because it's too long, and then get to pulling orders. So just finished pulling the larger order. Just lots of parts in it, mostly minifigure parts. Actually, I think all minifigure parts or animals except for a few accessories. But yeah, then let me put this container away. I'll need one of these. But then yeah, just for larger orders that are minifigure parts, almost exclusively, instead of bagging them up, once the cup is about 3/4 of the way full, I do it until it's about up to here or so, and then I put it in its own bag, just because it's minifigure parts, easier to go through on their end and stuff like that. So yeah, then this here is now all bagged up, lots of space torsos. There's the white ones, and then the red ones as well, then lots of heads, helmets, and just all around minifigure parts. So I'll get this stuff into 1 or 2 bags. I'm not sure how many I'll need yet, and then it'll be ready for shipping out tomorrow. So it's all packed up now into the one bag, and then so this order here ended up being 656 items, 169 lots, all in for $431 Canadian. There's no tax on it, probably going to a tax-free state. So yeah, that's all packed up, and then that can get shipped out tomorrow. Yogurt time. After some more looking at the shipping options, what I will most likely be doing is still slightly different again, but I'm still just trying to figure out all of this stuff now that I have the other shipping company. And I do think that I will be shipping American packages with Stallion Express, because that one, it's just about $1.20-ish cheaper per package on average. So far as only shipping out a little bit to the States, then it wouldn't make any sense. But since I do ship out a good portion of my shipments to America, it does add up quite a bit over time. So then I will be updating it to say that I ship American and international packages with Stallion Express. But then the Canadian shipments will be shipped with Chit Chat still. And so this here is the test package I did with Stallion Express for the air delivery in Canada. This was $6 Canadian plus tax for a shipment, and yeah, it was with tracking and everything like that. The tracking delivery message arrived about an hour and a half before the package was actually delivered, and it didn't even have real grammar, because it said your package has success being delivered. It didn't even say successfully delivered or anything like that. So it is definitely an interesting company for sure. So let's just check. Let me open up the package to see how the item inside is faring. I'm just gonna get my knife out, cut the package open. Okay, let's see. 1 second. Okay, so the package is now open. Let's get the thing out of the package, and so it seems to be all good. It doesn't look to be damaged. I'm gonna open it up a bit more, get the item out, and that bag there. So let's see here. So yeah, it seems to be in the exact same condition it was when I shipped it out. So it is an option, because we got the delivery message at like 2:40 or so p.m. and then went to look for the package, but it was nowhere to be found. Then went to ship stuff out, and then went to our mailbox on the way back, and there was nothing. It wasn't in there. It was just ads. and then went back home, and then it was sitting on the step, and we had looked there prior and it wasn't there. So yeah, the delivery timing is a bit off and stuff like that, but it is an interesting option. But I do think it only applies to certain parts of Ontario, so it's too vague of an option to generally use. So then I probably won't be really shipping with them. And also their tracking, it says it has tracking, and I can track it from my end, but then there's just, the tracking isn't really readable on the public tracking page. It just, there's nothing that shows. It says enter your tracking number and postal code. I enter it, and there's absolutely nothing. It doesn't even try to load anything. So it's a real weird tracking site and everything like that, but it seems to work. But I don't think I'll be really using it too often, because with Chit Chats, to the same to ship to myself, it'd only be like $1 or $2 more, but that includes tax, so it's not like it's crazy cheap in comparison or anything like that. And then with Chit Chats, I actually get tracking, so yeah, I probably won't really be using it anymore, but it was one that I wanted to test out just to see how it would go. And I'm trying to remember, where did I put the container with normal, okay, over here, Lego bricks that I took it out of. So yeah, it was just interesting to test that out. But yeah, then that's done now. So now what I'm going to do is going to update the shipping options to reflect that it's American shipments can go through Stallion Express rather than Chit Chats, and then yeah, that'll be done. So it's back to work now, and I need to get something listed, but there's always just so many containers to choose from. You know what, I'm gonna get a what are those sites called that are like a spinning wheel that you enter them into? I'll find a website, I'll be right back. One of these things here, so then I can just get this, and then I can just enter in all the names quickly. So I now have all of the things entered. Most of them are spelt wrong probably. So then now click to spin. So let's see which one I should list next. And it is ADU for Alien Defense Unit, or I think it's got another name, Alien Conquest, I think. But I just named it ADU for the Alien Defense Unit. Thanks, was it Galaxy Squad? No, it is this one here. So then I'll just empty that drawer into it, and then this will be the first one that I work on then, I guess. Just finished with the drawer, and so then these parts here are getting listed. So it's 39 items, 22 lots for $65. So that's done, and I'll probably try to get these guys done next. The internet has been really bad lately, so let's just test it here. It continuously does this. It first struggles to get past just a few for a little while, and then it doesn't get past about 100. Normally it's about 200 to 300 megabytes a second, so it's just been really slow. And then the upload is just terrible lately and stuff, so it's just nothing can get done lately, it seems. So yeah, just struggling to do that. It is very fast. That's quite funny. But yeah, it's because I was just trying to get the Lance thing up, and as soon as I pressed the camera icon and took the photo of it on the Instabrick unit, because it wouldn't find it when I searched up Lance for some reason, then it just took like a solid 30 seconds before it finished processing. And then on Bricklink, every time I try opening up a different page on Bricklink, it just takes forever to load and everything like that. So something's off with the internet again. It's been like that for about 2 days now, and at times it just stops working entirely, so who even knows. Just finished with the Lances. They were these ones here, and then I also uploaded a few more of them in black because I already had some for sale, and then added a few quantity of them in flat silver to the other stuff, but then the others were new, so that stuff's listed. So I got 2 containers done today, but there's also shipping day and stuff like that. So not too much listed today, but then tomorrow hopefully I can get a lot more of that listed. Yogurt time. Just picked up a few more containers now, so then we have one for Stallion Express, Chit Chats, and letter mail for Canada Post. So then I'm gonna get these things marked with some tape just to separate them. I'll do yellow for Stallion Express because all their stuff is yellow or orangish about there. Then I'll do blue for Chit Chats because they've got blue and red in their logo. Same with Canada Post. So I'll just go blue for Chit Chats and then red for Canada Post because it's more iconic for Canada, because Canada is in the name of Canada Post. So we'll just go with that. So then I'll mark the boxes and stuff like that. So then whenever an order comes in, it can just be once I pack it up, because I might start packing orders up sooner rather than just waiting till a certain day or something like that, just so that things can be better organized for that, because now there's 3 different places to drop them off at. But yeah, this is the end of the vlog, so thank you for watching if you got this far. Today is a Wednesday, so the next vlog should be out on Saturday.